Good morning, everyone. What an insightful conversation. This perfectly brings me to this topic that I'm going to cover, and I think the speakers summed it pretty well. Scale, personalization, risk, and the warmth. That's what is very, very important when we all are talking about transforming ourselves into an agentic enterprise. I am Mahendra. I'm the part of Financial Services Solution Engineering team at Salesforce. And thank you, Team BTFSI, to give me an opportunity to present our point of view and how Salesforce is transforming itself into an agentic enterprise. We all have seen cloud. We all have seen mobile. We all have seen social. And as we all know, we all have been using predictive AI from years now. And everyone today is talking about an agentic enterprise. Salesforce today, and today I'll share with you the story of how Salesforce is transforming itself into an agentic enterprise and helping our customers to transform themselves. Well, the foundation is changing when we are kind of building the software, and most importantly, how our consumers are experiencing the software. Three fundamental layers of software when it is to be built and experienced: data, business logic, and the user interface. There is a transformation that's happening across these three layers. We are moving from structured to structured plus unstructured data. We have been coding for long years with if-else statements. If this happens, do this, a static deterministic approach to a more deterministic plus undeterministic approach. And the most important fundamental which is changing is from the user experience layer. It's moving from very purpose-built forms, which is designed for a specific mode of communication, to more multimodal and conversational interface. Now, all of these three layers are transforming fundamentally because of an agentic reasoning, which becomes a fundamental to kind of bring autonomous agencies. We all as consumers are moving from clicking to thinking. And the way we as consumers have been using the tools like ChatGPT and all, the enterprises have not been transforming at that space. We would want a conversation which is more personalized, which is more orchestrating across the business functions. Today, we can literally run an entire business process of claims, loan origination, onboarding through a simple conversation. But that does not take away all the systems that we have built over these many years. In fact, the autonomous agents and AIs are sitting on top of all the applications and investments that we have done so far, which we call it as legacy applications. AI or agentic AI is just not incremental shift. It is indeed a revolutionary leap. We want every conversation to be personalized. We want it to be more orchestrating. It needs to communicate and interlock with different departments to make it more meaningful. But there is definitely a divide. We as consumers today get answers to most difficult questions through a chat conversation. The consumer AI is growing at a rapid pace. However, the enterprise AI, there is a lag in terms of the adoption. The way LLMs, the way we today, our children's, we ourselves are consuming AI, this is not the same pace which we are able to adopt in our enterprise landscape. Whether you are a bank, whether you are an insurance company, or whether you are payments or a fintech company. And the very fundamental reason what we have experienced is because of the data strategy. The fundamental block of an autonomous or an agentic AI is your data. And as an enterprises, our data are scattered, they are not siloed, they are not concurrent, they are not talking to each other. And it needs to be governed. We can't just start exposing our data for an enterprise, it needs to be more governed. How do we bring all these blocks together? That's where, as before we start about how Salesforce has gone ahead and executed this, it's more important to understand that it's not here to replace humans. It's basically to augment and work together, and it should give you that scale which we all have been wanting to in all of our industries. Salesforce is the first completely agentic enterprise. Today, every single business functions of ours Whether it is sales, whether it is service, whether it is marketing, whether it is IT, whether it is HR, all of our business functions have got one or the other autonomous or background agents working to help and assist us. This has been our journey. This is the true story of what the journey of an autonomous or an agentic AI enterprise that we started last year. In more than a year, we have been able to transform ourselves almost, as I said, every single function to run with an agentic AI layer on top of it. That needed a lot of work to be done. That needed our humans, our business processes need to be revamped. And these are the kind of the benefits that we have seen so far. We have seen a savings of over $100 million when it comes to our customer servicing operations. Not only in terms of the commercial savings, but the way we are in a position to resolve the customer's problem. Today, you can just go to the help.salesforce.com website of Salesforce. You don't just ask the questions, but there are autonomous actions that are actioned, and the cases are resolved for our customers. Not only that, we have been able to generate or modernize our revenue pipeline generation process. We were not able to reach out to all the leads, the contacts. There was a lot of filter in that. Today, because our autonomous agents are running our entire lead pipeline, there is a single dropout. Today, we reach out to every single lead that gets generated across our global ecosystem. We have generated a pipeline of more than $60 million through our agentic lead nurture and the sales solutions. We have got our web marketing agents running on our websites, which is in a position to engage with our customers better. But it was not easy. It was a journey, and today, as a playbook, I would like to share with you 5 steps or 5 lessons that we have learned in this journey. First of all, rather than trying to do everything, every single function, there has to be a right focus. We definitely have to start somewhere. We have to start small, but we have to go very, very fast. As we onboard our human beings in our organization, we test them, we train them, we monitor them, we measure their performance. It's very important that the similar lens is put on the autonomous agents as well, where you constantly test them, have the right sort of metrics behind measuring the outcome and the success criteria. The third is the data strategy. You need to have a right data strategy. What is this particular agent needs in order to do the best? There definitely has to be a value. There definitely has to be an impact which needs to be measured. Otherwise, it becomes a never-ending science project. We definitely need to understand at the start of the project, start of the agentic journey, what is it that we would want to achieve at the end goal? And finally, this is the most fundamental part. We need to change our business processes to align to work with AI jointly together. Just doing something in isolation as an AI strategy, not fine-tuning our business processes, just does not work. Let's now drill down into each of them. Go slow, start, and then basically focus. What we did, we just focused on something we call it as a hero agents. We picked up sales, we picked up service, we picked up marketing. We identified which is the area in sales that we want to focus the most. We realized there was a huge lead funnel that was not being targeted. We just went after that lead funnel. We picked up the customer servicing area. We said, okay, we want to transform the way customers interact with us. It was a traditional bot. We transformed that into an AI-generated autonomous bot. Likewise, we focused on only 4 hero agents to say, these are the 4 functions that we will transform the first. The second, we constantly know, and it's the reality fact, that the day that you would launch your first agent, it's not going to be perfect. There is no way it needs fine-tuning. Like, for example, when we launched our help.salesforce.com agent, we had millions of documents on our as a knowledge repository. We understood that the responses were kind of duplicate. There was a data duplication that was happening. We had to fine-tune our data strategy. So that's where we kind of constantly try to test, monitor, and observe this the way we observe the human beings. So we built an observability frameworks as we observe the humans. The third, as I said, on this part, when we were doing the data analysis, we kind of removed all the duplicates, we created siloed data libraries. We made sure that we use our own Salesforce Data Cloud product. For all of this, by the way, is run on Salesforce, Agentforce platform. We made sure that we are not duplicating and creating new data silos again. We tried to use our zero copy frameworks to understand wherever your data is, but we are in a position to connect and integrate together. Fourth, as I said, we constantly went on monitoring and tracking the performance at business metrics. Today, every single agent that we have, there is an ROI metric which gets reviewed by the CXO office to understand what is it that this particular agent trying to do and what is the performance that we are getting. And the most important, as I said, it is about how do human and agents come together. We are from the sales organization, we are from the services organization. How is it that from a sales organization perspective, I'm in a position to close my deals faster? Am I getting better competitive assessment? Am I in a position to make my meetings more fruitful? Similarly, every single roadblock like we hit here when we were talking about how does a conversation which has already been picked up by an agent, somebody, when it goes into a human fallout, is there a kind of a continuation of that particular conversation? We also had to redeploy people with certain skills. We kind of reorganized how our technology organizations are coming together as well. These were three fundamental business outcomes that we believe we were able to achieve. In the last panel, we talked about the scale. Today, without hiring new human power, we are in a position to scale ourselves with digital agents coming and joining our workforce. We are in a position to constantly monetize all the efforts that we have taken. As I talked to you about the lead nurturing, there's a strong revenue growth. There is definitely a higher increase in the conversion rates. And most importantly, it is simplifying the life of every individual in our organization. We are a very heavy technology organization, building products. We are in a position to transform the life of our engineers, our employees, and not only just the customers. This is our blueprint of the current agentic landscape. You can see we have agents which are sitting across sales, service, marketing, efficiency functions, our IT functions, our HR functions, our tech support functions. There is an agent which is sitting across all of these functions today in our organization, and these are all live, by the way, which is being used by our entire organization. What is the kind of an impact that we have seen today? We see in a sales organization today, our adoption rate of agentic AI is 98%. That effectively means all our sellers today are using AI for their day-to-day operations. We track their adoption. We are in a position to measure, observe, what are the kind of the feedback we constantly collect and fine-tune what do they need more. When it comes to the total agents that we have close to 40 interactive and conversational multimodal agents which are already live, and almost 160 autonomous agents which are in a position to transform the back office operations across the organization. Most of the business processes have been automated when it comes to our support and HR functions. These are all live examples. All that is something that we have built on Salesforce Agentforce platform. You can run your own business functions, business processes, whether it is related to a banking, lending, insurance company on the same Agentforce platform, to build an agent, to test an agent, to scale it, to monitor, to observe it, to fine-tune it, and to measure the business benefits and ROI. With this, I would like to end this presentation. Thank you all. It's the same playbook which probably all of you could replicate on the same Salesforce Agentforce platform and transfer your business processes, make it more scalable, make it more personalized, and orchestrate all your applications together. Thank you for listening, guys.